but their conference record win streak continues. On the women's side, some surprising teams have risen to the top of the conference. Plus, we'll talk with Seattle U women's basketball player Kamira Sanders, who's among the conference leaders in scoring and steals. That's all ahead on the road to WAC Vegas.
Susie Barkham, Seattle University, and this is the road to WAC Vegas.
New Mexico State going on to the tournament. Just a phenomenal game. What college basketball is all about.
Hi, I'm Dan Nielsen. I'm the head women's basketball coach at Utah Valley University, and this is the road to WAC Vegas.
Welcome to the road to WAC Vegas. I'm Rachel Vigil. We are halfway through conference play and we'll be in Vegas in just 5 weeks. On the men's side, New Mexico State has proved they're still top dog, going through the first half of conference play with a perfect record of 8-0. The Aggies hosted WAC rival Grand Canyon on Saturday night before a packed house of just under 14,000 fans. They took care of Dan Marley's team 72-52, behind big games from guard Jabari Rice with 18 points and forward Johnny McCants with 17. New Mexico State will head out on the road to take on Chicago State Thursday night on the WAC Digital Network. Also on Thursday, UTRGV visits Kansas City. Sitting in second place after 8 conference games is California Baptist. The Lancers are in their second year of playing in Division I and have raced out to a 6-2 WAC record. CBU is our WDN Featured Men's Game of the Week, hosting CSU Bakersfield. The Roadrunners are on a tough 3-game losing streak. Taze Moore leads CSUB in scoring, while the Lon Aqua of the Lancers is averaging just over 17 points per game. Will Rod Barnes' team take down the number 2 team in the conference? Tune in Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. On Saturday, California Baptist hosts Grand Canyon on ESPN+. On the WDN, Chicago State entertains UTRGV in a noon Central tip time. Then it's Seattle U playing at Utah Valley at 2 p.m. Mountain Time, followed by New Mexico State traveling to Kansas City. That'll be a 7 p.m. tip Central Time on the WAC Digital Network. The Ticket Smarter WAC Player of the Week is California Baptist Dejon Davis. The forward set a career-high 17 rebounds and 2 blocks against Utah Valley. 3 days later, the senior broke his own record with 19 rebounds against Seattle U. Davis leads the WAC in rebounding this season. Coming up on the road to WAC Vegas, we'll talk with one of the best women's basketball players in the WAC this season, Seattle U's Kamira Sanders. We'll be right back.
Moments that will never be forgotten. March was made for this. The 2020 WAC Basketball Tournament at the Orleans Arena in WAC Vegas. March 11th through the 14th. Be a part of the madness and witness the triumph. Ticket information, go to wacsports.com.
Welcome back to the road to WAC Vegas. Today we have Kamira Sanders, the leading scorer and leader in steals for Seattle U women's basketball. Kamira, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I know you just got back from California Baptist. The weather was good out there. You got a W out there as well. 2-game win streak. How has the energy shifted over these last 2 games?
I think it's been a big confidence builder for us. We've had all the pieces all along, but, finally with that last game, everybody just putting up points and, producing for us, and we all just kind of feed off of each other. So, I think it was really good for us to, go into the second half of conference play.
It was a big win, 83-49 over CBU. What felt different about the way that your team was playing?
Everybody was just on point. We were just, honestly, it was probably the sun because got us that extra energy. But yeah, we came out, everybody was on fire. We had everybody getting on the boards. Everybody put up points. Everybody was being consistent. It just, in the end, it just fell in our favor.
The last 2 weeks you haven't had Thursday games, so it's given you a full week in between games. How much has that extra prep time helped?
I think it's helped a lot. We can do extra scouting. We can do extra film. Gives us more time to watch it on our own, break down those things. Also, just resting our bodies. When we have those breaks, we get, an extra day off for rehab and treatment. So I feel like that's just been, beneficial for us.
Last season, you were averaging 14.3 points per game. Now you're up to 17.1. What's been the difference this season?
Last season I had a few games where, I had to sit out because I had concussions and I had injuries and stuff. And it being my senior year, my last year, it's just, I got to leave it all out there. There is no more, preserving for the following year because this is my final year. So I'm just doing everything I can.
How hard is it knowing that this is the final road trips to a lot of these places?
We just, we're just taking everything like one trip at a time. When we get there, we're just like, okay, like on the road, we got to get a sweep or we got to get a split. We can never just go and, we can't lose 2 games. It wouldn't be good for us in the end. We just pretty much just focus on it, game by game. So I think that mentality is what's kind of helped us.
What about you for you personally, knowing you're a senior? I mean, this could be the last time that you're traveling to some of these places.
Just make the best of it. Just when I go on the road, just leaving it all out there and just having, fans from other schools, just look at our program and being like, they're like, she was, I don't want to be that person that everybody was like, oh, like that hated her, like da-da-da, so stuff. I'm just going out there. I'm just playing hard, good sportsmanship, trying to be a good leader. I just want everybody, from our program, from other programs to just like see me playing out there and be like, wow, like she's good. She's a good leader. She sets good examples, like this is something that like my daughter can look up to, even though she's from Seattle rather than, I don't know, like GCU if we go there. Yeah.
What is one thing, if you had to pick just one thing, that you hope your teammates or other people from different schools can learn from you? I know that's a really hard question to ask somebody.
I think the biggest thing is like my work ethic. Like it'll never stop. I'll never stop giving 100. We could be down, I'll be going hard. We can be up, and I'll be going hard no matter what. I'm always putting it out there and giving my all to my team and my coaching staff and everybody else. So,
where did you get that worth ethic from? That's not everybody, right? Sometimes people are down by 20 and they just kind of give up on the floor. Where did you get that from?
I've had it all my life. Since I was younger, I don't know, just when I talked to my father when I was younger, it was just always a perspective of like, okay, like if we're down 19 and there's 30 seconds left, then if I get a bucket, then we're down 17. Like you lost by 17 rather than 19, or you lost by 15 or you lost by 4. So it's just like a matter of just cutting it down. So I think like keeping that mentality of like, it could always be like less or just like chipping away. And then when we do have the lead, like not getting comfortable and just being like, we need to stretch this out. Like we need to get further. One of the big things like in high school was like, we would always talk about like our starting five would be like, oh, we have to get a giant lead so that like our bench can play and stuff like that, because like you want everybody to have that experience. So it's like when it's close games and they don't get that court time, then it's like, I mean, like it's a team effort, but everybody loves to see those people out there on the floor. So I'm just like stretch the lead so we can get our other girls out there.
That's incredible. It sounds like you're such a true team player as well. I want to go back to just a little bit more about you, though, real quick. Do you have a favorite WAC memory? What would you say is like your biggest accomplishment that you've had?
Biggest accomplishment? Honestly, I think it would probably be my very first one when I got freshman of the year, just because when I came in, my father, he believes in me a lot, but he was like, like you're a freshman, it's college, everybody's gonna be up to speed, they're gonna be as quick as you are, all these things. So like if you don't start, it's fine, just earn your position, all these other things, like just never let it get you down. And then I came in and I remember like I called him the first day when we were doing scout, and I was like, oh, like they said I'm starting, like da-da-da, and I just remember him being so excited. And then by the end of the year, they told me I got freshman of the year, and I got like the little award, and I gave it to him, and I just remember him like crying because he was just so happy. And it's just like at this point, it's like all the other accolades I'm getting, it's just like, man, like you worked for this, but I just remember that moment being so emotional, because it was something that we knew that like I was capable of, but the fact that I actually achieved it was just like way bigger.
That's incredible. Do you have a favorite WAC road trip?
Favorite WAC road trip? It'll most likely be somewhere towards the sun. I know I like CBU because it's warmer, but I do like to go to Bakersfield because that's where a lot of my family are. My dad's side is from Fresno. My mom's dad's side is from Bakersfield. So when I go there, that's when I get to see like majority of my family. So I think that's probably like my most favorite trip.
The WAC tournament's also coming up in just a few weeks, your final one. Is your family going to be able to come out to that at all?
Oh yes, they're definitely coming to that one. They told me I better not lose either, because they're just planning on going the whole week. So.
Well, besides obviously wanting to win the tournament, is there anything else that you're really looking forward to doing? I'm just looking forward to spending those final moments, whether it's first game, last game, NCAA tournament. Just
all those final moments, just cherishing them with my team, with my staff, and all the other people, because they've been great. Like, I've loved everybody here. It's like a true family. So,
you know what it's like to go to the NCAA tournament. Is there anything that you're going to say to some of the younger players on your team before the WAC tournament to hopefully kind of pump them up and get them ready and to try and win it?
Most of the time, so our hype man is the other captain. It's usually Liv. But, yeah, most of the time, I'm the one that's just like, you know, like, I'm kind of like cheering everybody. Sometimes I'll get like passionate, and like one of the things I'll tell them is like, you know, like in the moment when I'm telling you something, like listen to what I'm saying, not how I'm saying it, because like I get very fired up. So I'm like, I don't want it to come out bad. But I'm like, if I yell at you at a certain time in the game or a certain point, it's because like I know you're capable of better or like something else. So like if I'm telling, I don't know, Joe, like I'm like, you need to finish these layups or something like that, then like she knows that it's coming from like a good place. Like it's just because, you know, like I want us to progress, I want us to succeed. So, but if we make it to the tournament, just, you know, don't get overwhelmed, like calm the nerves, because it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's a basketball game. That's what we're all here for. Basketball, we've played it. Like, yeah.
True. You have a couple games before you even have the WAC tournament. One of those games is Utah Valley. You lost back on January 11th to the Wolverines. What will it take to take down them this week?
I think it's our boarding. I think we need to be really big on rebounding, because every now and then our team will be great at rebounding, and then other times we won't be. But when we're pursuing the ball is typically when we end up coming out with the win. So I think that'll be big for us, because I don't know how great our rebounding was that game. But that, and then like transition defense, like we know all the things that kind of kept us from getting the win when we were there, and we kind of talked about it. So I think we're just gonna like prepare ourselves and just fix those little small details to help us get a win.
Oh, awesome. Well, Kamira, thank you so much, and best of luck against Utah Valley, also in the WAC tournament. We'll see you out there in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Kamira Sanders from Seattle U Women's Basketball. We'll be right back with the Road to WAC Vegas.
In the WAC, we value sportsmanship on the field,
on the track, on the court, in the pool,
and in the stands.
We take pride in playing fair and being honest.
We honor the game by showing respect for our opponents,
the officials,
the fans, and our team.
Great sportsmanship is about keeping everything in perspective.
It's about taking ownership after a loss.
And being humble after a win.
We hope you'll team up with us by staying positive on the sidelines.
Because great sportsmanship is what unites us.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
Welcome back to the Road to WAC Vegas. Kansas City and Grand Canyon sit atop the WAC standings. Both teams are 7-3 in their last 10 games. GCU won an exciting game in OT, knocking off UTRGV 62-60. They followed that up with a big win over defending WAC champion New Mexico State, 60-49. The Lopes have now won 4 games in a row. Meanwhile, Kansas City is also 6-2 in the WAC after defeating Chicago State 73-57 on Saturday. On Thursday, the Roos visits UTRGV. Also on Thursday, Chicago State is at New Mexico State. On Wednesday, CSU Bakersfield hosts California Baptist in an 11 a.m. Pacific time start on ESPN3. On Saturday, we start off our day with the Vaqueros hosting the Cougars, followed by CBU making a trip to GCU and a rematch of last year's WAC semifinals as Kansas City visits New Mexico State. Our WDN Featured Game of the Week is Utah Valley and Seattle U. UVU and new coach Dan Nielsen are trying to get back on track. The Wolverines won 5 in a row, then lost 3 in a row. Susie Barcombe and the Redhawks have won 2 in a row. That's a 2 p.m. Pacific time start from the Emerald City. The Ticket Smarter WAC Player of the Week is Grand Canyon's Deja Daniel. The senior now has a school record 10 double-doubles. She also shot 66.7% from the field in 2 Lope wins. Our WAC Vegas ticket contest last week was what was the best buzzer beater in WAC history? And the winner is Johnny McCann's half-court shot last year to win the game for the Aggies against Grand Canyon. We had lots of entries for the buzzer beater against GCU, but could only pick one. Congratulations to Joshua Trujillo. You're getting tickets to WAC Vegas. J-Lo and Shakira showed us what some serious girl power looked like at the Super Bowl halftime show. So in honor of all the girl bosses out there, our contest question this week is, who do you think is the best women's basketball player in WAC history and why? Tweet your response to us and use the hashtag HeyRachel to enter the contest. We'll announce who the winner is next week. In case you don't want to take any chances of not winning tickets, you can also make sure to get your tickets to WAC Vegas by buying them. Just go to the WAC Sports website and click on the WAC Vegas ticket button. For the WDN, I'm Rachel Vigil.